Final Fantasy producer Naoki Yoshida has said that Square Enix plans to release games simultaneously on Xbox going forward.
Oh,
We had a similar when it like I don't know if you remember, there was like a similar message, but he didn't they just said that they want to put their games on other platforms or whatever. But I feel like this is like that pony problem. If you remember when the guy said it was going to be ubiquitous, right? The Sony
yes,
CEO,
yes.
the games
Selective
are going
hearing.
everywhere. It's gonna be ubiquitous. So, they were like, "No, no, no, ubiquitous." He's just talking about like PCs. To the next guys, like, it's gonna come to PC, PlayStation, and other platforms. I'm like, yeah, but it's mobile. Then it comes back, it's like, all right, motherfucker, it's gonna be PlayStation, PC, mobiles, and other platforms. And they just kept trying to figure out a way to let people know shit is gonna come to Xbox and Switch, and people won't accept it. So I feel like we're back in the same boat where Square's like, motherfuckers, I need to make this shit clear as day. We are bringing all of our games out on Xbox at the same time. No more PlayStation exclusives is dead to us. Okay. I feel like that's essentially what he's trying to say, to just shut the bullshit up. You know what I'm saying? Um, So over here, the story says Final Fantasy producer claims Square plans to release games simultaneously on Xbox going forward. Yoshida recently said he'd like to see Final Fantasy 16 on Xbox. Um, here we go. In an interview with 4G Gamer for
We can't
fan,
see that.
you haven't been seeing any of this shit? God damn it. Thank
Oh,
you
fuck,
for
you send me some stuff that is
no.
I can't wait. I cannot wait. You have it too. So, guys, wait
This
till
is
you
fucked
see
up.
this.
It's not gonna be seen. Nobody will ever know.
I'll show it on my phone.
I'll
So,
I'm gonna turn off the screens.
okay.
I'll turn off the internet.
Yeah.
whatever, whatever has to be done. So in an interview with 4G Gamer for Fantasian Neo Dimension, Yoshida, known by fans as Yoshi P, said that Square plans to launch games on all platforms simultaneously more and more. Of course, we want you to play it a lot on other platforms as well, he said. This time, we will also release the Xbox Series XS version at the same time. In the future, Square Enix titles will be released simultaneously on each platform more and more. But since this is close to the first release, we would like Xbox users to play it as well. Earlier this year, Yoshida said that he likes to release Final Fantasy 16 on Xbox platforms. Well, yeah, that we already covered that one. But again, I mean, you're definitely seeing it. This is it here when Square Enix said they failed to meet Square Enix's sales expectations. Um, the PlayStation exclusive Final Fantasy 16 says that it led the publisher to announce plans to shift to a multi-platform strategy. So that's what it was, right? So again, we're looking at it the same way as it was before, but again, they're getting more kind of brazen with it, right? They're coming out and they're like, "Hey, this is the reality. We are going to go ahead and, put the game everywhere." So, babe, I mean, what do you think? Again, you hear what we saw with Hoyo Verse, right? They're going ahead and they're starting to bring their games over that were trapped on PlayStation exclusively, right? What
Yes.
I mean, now we see more confirmation from Square Enix, right? This is like an ongoing thing, like they're trying to, I don't know, prepare people for when it happens. Um, but is this a signal of what's new? What we can expect going forward from these, Japanese publishers and developers, or these Asian, you know, developers?
So I want to go back to I was looking for Spartan 661. He made a comment. He says that I think the contracts hold most of them back, right? And I do think that that was part of the problem when they started seeing all the red flags from PlayStation, right? And I think we're getting to the point where they are done with this, isolation, right? And this loyalty to PlayStation. You have to get to a point where you're just looking out for yourself and trying to save yourself, right? And I do think the contracts when it comes to Square Enix you know, had to do with, their desire to want to go ahead and make this move a lot sooner. And it had to do with kind of like the delay. I do think that, again, seeing what happened with Sega, it was a big push to everyone else to want to follow suit and kind of just go ahead and be, whether on other platforms or have their games in Game Pass. Game Pass is a huge advantage to these studios, right? When it comes to going ahead and kind of promoting your games and putting them out there. It's just I think this is just the new that's going to be taking place. There's no reason for any third party studios to go ahead and box themselves in. I think what PlayStation had were the boxes out there, and they're realizing that those boxes don't mean shit because people are not showing up to buy the software. So at this point, considering the amount of games that release every year, I think they need to go ahead and take advantage of any box out there, right? Let's see what happens with the Switch, right? When they have more power and the games start becoming available on their platform as well. So I do think that it's just right now with the amount of games that release, they are doing themselves a disfavor to go ahead and kind of lock themselves down to any box. Um, Xbox doesn't do this. They're not trying to go ahead and they make a deal, put your game in Game Pass, and they're not saying, okay, well now you're locked down for a year or two where you can't release your game on any other platform. Like, they don't do that, but that's confidence. Go ahead and put your games everywhere. We just want this deal with you, and then, we move on. We got other shit going on. The reason why PlayStation needs it to be so exclusive is because they need reasons. They need reasons for people to show up, right? And the reasons are not provided by them. So, what do they need to do? They need to go ahead and lock down. But we're gonna be seeing a lot more of this where people are just trying to be out there and do their own thing. I also think we're gonna see a lot more people grabbing that Game Pass bag as, again, more and more games continue to release. You saw 2025 for Xbox. It looks insane. And Rayuar had mentioned in the
Facts.
chat that, it's gonna be the game awards is going to be Xbox Winter Show, right? And that's
Facts.
exactly
Big
what it's
facts.
going to be. They're going to go ahead and steal the show and show off their freaking games and excite the crowd over what's coming to Xbox. And they've done nothing but that all freaking year. Every time they had a show, they just showed up and showed off, right? So 2025 is stacked with freaking first party games and third party freaking games as well. It's wild. The relationships that they're building, they're filling in the gaps. And to your point before, see money with I forget the name of the game that's coming now to Xbox. Xeno, what was it?
Zone,
Zone, yes.
Zenders from
This is the
Hoyoverse.
thing, even though, like, this is just a part of the change, right? So when you have been a part of a platform that has been excluded so much, right? Like Xbox has been, this is a victory. This is a win, right? And when more and more games start showing up on our platform, in our Game Pass, it's just going to create just a bigger platform, right? More of more games are going to be available to us. More games are going to go into Game Pass, more possibilities of them buying more studios, and this is what we want. They were saying how Game Pass is not sustainable. They run around crying. Why did they raise the price a fucking dollar or two? Right? Wah wah wah. What's happening here? So the more it grows, the more games available on Xbox, the more that we can keep that price leveled, right? Um, so it is what it is.
I mean, it's true. It's true. I mean, you bring up a great point. I think you go ahead and they see the success that these people are having on Game Pass, right? Where they're coming out and they're able to go ahead and get a bag from Xbox, get huge momentum from their game being in Game Pass, and then still monetizing the other platforms and still able to make the fucking money that they were going to make regardless. Except now they got a bag from Xbox, and the people over on Xbox side don't feel slighted. They're not upset. And when you finally do bring the game over, like when you keep it on PlayStation, the Xbox fans don't react the same, right? They're not like, "Oh my god, it's finally here. Let me go play it." They're like, "No, fuck you. I'm over it. I moved on." Right?
Exactly.
Now you get to
Exactly. But that's
capture
how
that
you
market.
show them, right? And that's how you go ahead and you make change. And, at the end of the day, when you go ahead and I can only imagine like for these developers, like is it us, right? Are we not good at this anymore? Did we kind of just we ran our course? Like what happened here, right? Like with Sega and Square Enix, right? For them to kind of like be at a rut and like to come out here and get light and shine, right? It's PlayStation. It's the choices that you've been making that have been dragging you down. It's not your games particularly. So I think that once you get out of that mess is it's not something that PlayStation is gonna go ahead and have the ability to kind of trap them in again. I think once you get out of that, you don't go back. So
No.
this is rough for PlayStation themselves. And it's again, it's all happening all in one shot. It's almost like, Spartan brought up the contracts, right? So it's like these contracts are wearing out all at the same time. And, the
And we know
the
they're not getting new ones by certain people.
yes.
We know they got shut
So
down by the people of Crimson
publicly,
Desert, publicly said,
publicly
"The fuck we will sign that deal. Hell
humiliating
no, we
that
ain't going to your Diddy
was.
party."
How do you go ahead and throw another contract out there, not knowing if it's gonna be exposed? But,
Facts.
listen, ponies, keep on smiling because the worst is yet to come. So enjoy this moment. It's gonna get a lot rougher, baby. It's gonna hurt a lot more.